The lawsuit on behalf of the state of California suing the Trump administration. California is the largest manufacturing state in our union, one of the largest trading partners around the globe. No state will be impacted more than the state of California as it relates to the unilateral authority that's being asserted by the Trump administration to impose the largest tax increase in modern American history.
All right, guys, I didn't really want to have to get on here and do this, but I had to. These are fiberglass stakes right here. There's big, bulky stakes on the back of the truck, wooden stakes. I called 2 weeks ago to get a quote on these fiberglass stakes because we need some more stakes this year. I got a quote, 83 cents. I called the man this morning. I said, hey, I know these tariffs are crazy and everything going on. I said, what can you do me on those fiberglass stakes now if we needed a load? It's a 3-month ETA from time you place the order. He said, Taylor, you don't want to hear this price that I'm about to give you. And I said, well, give it to me anyways. He said, each of those stakes now is going to be $1.74 a piece. And I said, well, you know, and I know both that we can't do that, and that's going to be impossible. So that's just to let you know a little bit of what we're going through out here on our farm and what farmers in general are going through. These tariffs, not the best thing for our country. I voted for Trump.
I feel like the past 24 hours has just been a complete nightmare. 104% on imports coming from China. 104%. And that means my small business that I put everything into is done. I quit my corporate job about a year and a half ago to chase my dreams. I designed and launched a kids fitness brand, and it was going great. I paid fair wages. I built relationships. And then overnight, the cost just more than doubled. My margins were gone. You know, my business doesn't pay for a yacht or a private jet. It pays for our daughter's swim classes. It covers groceries. It helps with babysitters for date nights. This isn't just numbers on a policy sheet. It's real people, real jobs, real families, and now I'm back at square one. So wish me luck.
All right, I hate asking for help. I'm not asking for any handouts, but I'm a small business owner that is directly being affected by the 104% tariff that has been put on China. I import alloy wheels for cars, and I do somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 containers a year, which is a small business in regards to this industry. At 104%, I am absolutely going to implode and will not last 6 months. So with that said, I'm asking, is there anybody out there that has connections with manufacturing facilities, specifically alloy wheels, either in the United States or outside in these lesser tariffed countries like Mexico, Indonesia, Thailand, India? I need to find another source. I've emailed a lot of these companies and cannot get a response. And I just don't know if it's because I'm a small business or what exactly it is. So if anybody's out there that can help or shed some light, maybe provide some information that would be helpful, I would really greatly appreciate it, because if not, it's just a small business here that's going to go under, and I'll be back to digging ditches again, which I'm not scared to do, but it's a little harder to do with a wife, 2 kids, and at 45 years old. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions. It's very much appreciated.
I've been putting off filming this video for the longest time because I really didn't want it to come to this, but I won't be able to be selling to the US anymore, and I am heartbroken. The US is our main market, but with this current tariff situation, I won't be able to sell our products anymore. I'm not somebody who's gonna charge $200 for a tote bag, and it just seems so unfair. It's just me and my husband are doing the quality control, we're doing the marketing, we're doing the designing of the items, we're doing everything by ourselves. The customer service, we're not a dropshipping brand. We don't have any investors, we don't have a warehouse full of items that were $3 a unit. We're just trying to build something that feels good, that can help people live their everyday life, that can function. This brand started started as an idea. We just wanted to create a product that felt like you, something that could help everybody, that you could take to the library, to school, to therapy, to a solo cafe date. And now I might lose the community that made this brand what it is today. I'm scared, I'm heartbroken. I don't know what this means for the future of the Toad Library. I'm confused, I'm angry. I don't understand why for small businesses it's always so complicated. I mean, I quit everything to do this. It's so unfair. So if you're watching this from the US, I want to say thank you. I want to say I love you. I want to tell you that you gave me the best 3 years of my life. And if this is really the end of an era, I want you to know that we have built something amazing together and beautiful. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really feels like an unfair fight.
I can't tell you how brutal these tariffs are. I'm a small business. I sell travel and organization products. My brand sells to Nordstrom, Macy's, Anthropologie, and also my direct-to-consumer site. But I'm telling you, everything is so uncertain right now and scary, and some big opportunities that we're going to be kicking off are on hold. I'm just like, what is going to happen? I'm trying not to stress. I've been through over 20 years of business. What goes down comes up, what's up comes down, but this is just like absolutely unprecedented. So if you had your eye on any of my products, I tagged one here, check it out, because I might have to raise my prices and I can't imagine doing that. I don't want to do that. It's like a bad dream, and all I can do is just try and be optimistic, but damn. So support your small businesses right now. If you see something that you love, snatch it up, because prices are going to be increasing. I'm a self-funded small business. This is my livelihood. This is my everything.
I feel like the past 24 hours has just been a complete nightmare. 104% on imports coming from China. 104%. And that means my small business that I put everything into is fucking done. I quit my corporate job about a year and a half ago to chase my dreams. I designed and launched a kids fitness brand, and it was going great. I paid fair wages. I built relationships. And then overnight, the cost just more than doubled. My margins were gone. You know, my business doesn't pay for a yacht or a private jet. It pays for our daughter's swim classes. It covers groceries. It helps with babysitters for date nights. This isn't just numbers on a policy sheet. It's real people, real jobs, real families. And now I'm back at square one. So wish me luck.
I wish I had good news for everybody, but this is very, very serious, and we cannot trust the Trump administration's reports or data. Sorry, Caroline, far from it. Here's what's going on with company layoffs and the economy. We already know American Axle is suing the Trump administration. They're an auto parts manufacturer, because they say the tariffs are putting them out of business and they're getting ready to lay off a bunch of people. We already know that Ford and GM's profits were completely wiped out the second quarter because of tariffs. P&G will be cutting 7,000 white-collar jobs. When I go through the list of companies that are laying off, they all attribute it to decreased global sales and sales within the United States because of economic uncertainty due to the tariffs, and the increase in prices because they're producing parts that they have to charge more for, so people are buying less, all again thanks to tariffs. And also a lot of these jobs are being replaced by AI. And I want you to remember that this big beautiful bill put a provision in there for the next 10 years. Not one politician, nobody can touch AI. They can, whoever owns AI services, including Elon Musk, can do whatever they want without repercussions. So MAGA, I want you to keep all this in mind. So P&G is cutting 7,000 jobs. Special mention, Kentucky. Kentucky is getting ready to lose 23,000 jobs because their three leading bourbon producers have all filed for bankruptcy. A lot of it having to do with Canada being one of their lead countries that they export their products to that are no longer selling their products because of the tariffs. Let's see. Microsoft, 9,000 jobs. Meta, Google, Amazon's cloud computing arm. Intel, a microchip manufacturer, is laying off 10,000 employees. Zoom Info, Chegg, PwC, Chevron, Boeing, JP Morgan Chase, Cargill, Wells Fargo, Marriott, UPS, 20,000 jobs. Dell, Nissan, 11,000 jobs. Intel, Microsoft, HBC, DHL, BP, Bosch, Jaguar, Sarepta Therapeutics, Alaska Air, Indeed, and Glassdoor, which I find interesting. They post all the job openings, and I guess there just aren't as many job openings anymore. Procter & Gamble, 7,000 employees. Clark's, Allianz, Intel, 15,000 employees. Blue Diamond Growers, Walmart, CrowdStrike, IBM, MasterCard, Cisco, 7,000. They're a food supplier for schools and hospitals and restaurants and you name it. Stellantis, 2,450. Optum, part of United Healthcare. They have clinics in rural areas. They're going to be closing a bunch of their clinics, leaving a lot of people without a job. Mercury Marine, Intuit, NatWest, Ford. The list goes on and on. I just didn't want to sit there and spend the rest of my day writing it all. I am not including all the companies around the world that are also laying off because of Trump's tariffs. This has caused a worldwide economic dire situation. It's not just harming Americans anymore. And the numbers cannot be trusted from the administration. You can't trust their data, unemployment numbers, or what have you because of falling survey responses. Unemployment numbers rely on surveys being submitted to the government. And there's big concern that companies that have already shut down or are MAGA supporting companies are not turning in their surveys that they lost jobs. They eliminated jobs, causing higher unemployment. Because of budget cuts and staffing shortages in this administration, and because the Trump administration disbanded the advisory committees that are there to confirm statistical accuracy of data coming out of the Trump administration. When we look at the unemployment rate and how Caroline Leavitt and others portrayed as it's low, there's one number that's disturbingly high within that number, and that's the highest number to date. Over 25% of the jobs being occupied right now in the United States are leave those employees what's called functionally unemployed, meaning they make under $24,000, don't have any benefits. So they're essentially unemployed. They're in poverty. Over 25% of jobs in the United States are filled by people who are functionally unemployed because of how poor the pay is. And so that makes the unemployment rate look like it's great. There's so much more to the story. But MAGA, you're part of a lot of these layoffs for sure.
Well, I officially have been affected by the tariffs, and I'm super upset about it. So about a year ago, I got a job as a content creator on a retainer fee for a sock brand that I absolutely love. I always did really good work for them. So about 2 months ago, they asked me to be a content creator coach. So I was getting paid a flat fee to post 15 to 20 videos a month and coach the women in our group to sell the socks better. Just last week, I put like a little memo together of like everything I've done that has helped my TikTok shop videos go viral and do well. Just today, we got an email that they're no longer having this program in place. So I will be losing somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And I don't want to hear content creation is not a job, blah, 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 blah. I worked 2 fucking years to get this job. I worked 2 years to be good at content creation and get this job. I care about this job. I show up for this job. And I like this job. I've also said I wasn't as busy at my salon. So that means that this job was really supplementing our income. And just like that, it's gone. I definitely go back and forth with my feelings for those who voted for Trump, because a lot of people I love voted for him. And I do think there's a difference between like MAGA Trump people and just Republicans that voted for him. But this is what voting for him did. It's putting tariffs on these products that are coming from China. And now someone like me is losing a retainer fee job. And it totally sucks. But I know there's highs and lows in content creation, so I'm going to get over it, and maybe I'll find another type of retainer job, or maybe I'll do better on TikTok Shop, or maybe I'll start taking surveys again. But I'll make the income up somewhere because I have to.
Donald Trump's economy is in terrible shape and the American people are pissed. A new poll from Marquette out this weekend says that 66% of Americans disapprove of the tariff war that he started. And the reason is very obvious. People were already struggling. They elected Donald Trump because he promised to make everything less expensive. Now everything's more expensive. It's harder to put food on the table, harder to buy a house, harder to retire with dignity. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's throwing himself a $90 million military parade on his birthday, and he's accepting a $400 million bribe from the Qatari government. It's a government that works for everybody except you, and people are waking up to that fact every single day, and they are pissed.
My groceries are so expensive under Biden. I'm voting for Trump because of the economy.
People were complaining about their groceries nonstop during last year's election cycle. Well, guess what? Our groceries are about to get a lot more expensive, and if you're a Trump supporter, this is what you voted for. What if I told you this surge from your salad bowl to your coffee cup was the result of Trump's foolish tariff war? Wholesale vegetable prices shot up nearly 40%. Spike experts say that stems from a new tariff on imports. This could drive up your grocery store bill as well as your restaurant bill. Do you like steak and beef? Because guess what? It's about to get a lot more expensive too. In July, ground beef hit a record at $6.34 per pound, and steak is nearly $11.88 per pound. That's way more expensive than any time under Biden. Do you like coffee? Because brace yourself, it is also about to get a lot more expensive. Coffee prices have surged 12% since last year. Since then, the data shows a 14.5% price increase. Why? Because the Trump administration slashed coffee's duty-free status and slapped a 50% tariff on raw beans from Brazil, the U.S.'s largest supplier. The result, your coffee of choice is about to get a price hike. Let's zoom out for a second. These aren't isolated incidents. These tariffs are part of what's being called the most aggressive trade assault since the 1930s. Guess what followed that? Across the board, from fresh produce to cars, the average U.S. household is looking at $2,400 to $5,000 extra per year in groceries alone. Can you afford that? Core inflation, excluding food and energy, is still roaring at about 3%, even while gas and some items have eased a little bit. Tariffs are a big reason why the price relief isn't coming anytime soon. So let's be clear. Tariff proponents claim foreign countries are paying the costs, but that's not what's happening. Studies show that American households bear almost the entire burden. The CBO projects price hikes, lost income, and reduced GDP. Economists across the spectrum, 80% or more, agree tariffs hurt more than they help. So here's the harsh truth. Your weekly shopping trip is increasing, and it's the casualty of political theater. Gamble masquerading as policy. Tariffs wrapped in promises, protection, but delivering rising bills. Your produce, your beef, your morning coffee, all caught in the crosshairs. We will be paying the price. What scares me the most is that Trump is going to look you in the face and tell you that prices have never been better. He's going to tell us that the economy is going to be roaring. Anyone that disagrees with him, he's going to discount them, calling them an enemy of the state, enemy of America. What does that sound like to you? Does someone like that sound like a leader? Does someone like that sound like someone you want in charge?
Well, all hell is breaking loose for the economic genius of this administration, because the thing that Trump has been bragging about since his first campaign, the thing he swore he would fix forever for Americans, America's trade deficit, is getting worse. The kicker is that it's happening because of Trump's own policies. Since March, U.S. exports have not just slowed down, they have plunged. We're talking about billions of dollars in products that American companies used to sell overseas that are sitting unsold. Why? Because the rest of the world is deliberately walking away from the United States. Hedge fund manager Spencer Hakimian summed it up this way, quote, exports have fallen right off a cliff since March. Countries around the world are responding to the U.S. trade war by boycotting American goods and services, another penalty Americans are paying for Trump's tariff crusade. The penalty is not on Trump. Trump's a billionaire. He's fine. The penalty is on you. It's on you in terms of higher prices. It's on you in terms of fewer jobs. And it's on you in terms of a shrinking export market that makes the very trade deficit Trump hates even bigger. Think of that. Trump hates the trade deficit. He says, I want to export more than we import. Why are we importing so much from China? We should export to them. Well, the reason is 50, 60 years of economic policy that said, we want to import cheap stuff from China. We don't want to pay what it would cost to make all these tchotchkes in the United States. We'll get them from China. And so that's why we import more. And Donald Trump's tariffs are making the trade deficit even worse. You look at Canada. Canada is one of our top export markets. In 2024, Canada bought $28 billion in food products from the United States. Canadian stores are now being pressured. Do not stock, do not sell American food products. 71% of Canadians plan to buy fewer American food products this year. Trump added a 35% tariff on Canadian imports, which started August 1st. When you tax their goods, they don't thank you. They respond in kind. They tax your goods or they stop buying them. This is called a trade war. That's how it works.
All right, so if you've shopped at Walmart recently, they're doing this shady thing where they take all the perforated pieces off the tags, but every once in a while you'll find one that still has the actual price left on it, but they're marking it up.
So I went to my local Target to see if they're doing it. Take a look. Look at that. All of the tags are ripped off. Look at that. $20. $20. Wait till you see the price increase. $35. That's double. That is double. That price went up twice as much. Trump campaigned on lowering prices. We have him on video, actually, right here.
If you want to bring the prices down, if you want to have a good life, vote for Trump.
All of these companies are coming out and saying that they are going to massively increase the cost of their goods, including on essentials. All of these suckers are saying, that's okay, just wait, guys. Trust the plan. Trust the process. And they don't know what a fucking regressive tax system is. I gotta hand it to them, though. Only Donald Trump can cut taxes for the ultra wealthy, shift the tax burden to the working and middle classes, and raise their taxes. And not only are they going to be okay with it, but they're going to fucking thank him. These suckers are going to thank him. Yeah, good job. Good job, guys. Trump's economy paid for by fucking suckers.
My husband just got an email saying that he lost his job because of the tariffs. He's a cargo pilot. And we voted for the lady. We didn't vote for this. This is so uncool. It's like, what are they trying to do? Like, what is happening? I'm sorry that happened, babe. Are you alright?
It's alright. I guess I can
He'll look for another
get
job.
a truck driver.
The pilot.
About the American economy, prices, and jobs. Home Depot revealing plans to raise some prices because of President Trump's tariffs. Executives announcing the decision after quarterly sales reports came in lower than expected.
Home Depot is raising its prices once again after these tariffs, guys. And I'm going to tell you, it is devastating for so many of these companies, especially the ones that import a lot of their materials from all these other different countries. You see, these are wood planks, right? Wood planks, which comes from lumber. We import almost a little bit over 20% of our lumber from countries like Canada and other countries around the world, guys. This is going to be very, very bad for a lot of people and a lot of Americans who are experiencing higher prices. So you're going to see a lot of people starting to pause a lot of their home improvement projects and so many different things around the country. But I got more videos in here that are going to blow your mind. I'm just bringing you the news, honestly. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Let's get to the rest of the video.
So I'm here at Home Depot getting some stuff for the move we just did, and saw something very interesting. If you think the tariffs aren't affecting things, and you think the recession's not coming, and you think prices aren't changing, I just saw Home Depot and the DeWalt reps raise something by $100. They went from $249 to $349. They said it's their biggest seller. And they said it's not the only thing that's going to change in price today. So May 1st, everything's changing. And it's not just DeWalt.
And yes, the prices are going up, but a lot of times when you see prices jump up like this, and this is DeWalt, this is a brand, and normally the company itself, they set their own prices. This isn't Home Depot. Sometimes it's Home Depot who, you know, tries to get an extra markup on top of it, but a lot of this right here is from the company itself. And of course, yes, tariffs, right? We can all not tie it down to tariffs, because at the end of the day, yeah, when we talk about getting the material and when we talk about manufacturing within the United States, they get so much raw materials, so many different pieces, so many different parts, which comes from other countries around the world. They have to get it in order to generate this product and create and manufacture this product. Of course, we don't have every single thing right now with the United States. And I don't know if you guys remember months ago when President Trump met out with Home Depot, Target, and I think he met with Walmart as well. They pretty much told him up front that the price were going to raise up. But of course, you know, Trump himself, he's like, oh, you know, it was a very productive meeting and we did all these things. We were able to decide on so many things. And now it's actually happening. Like, it's happening in real time. And Americans, I'm going to be honest, a lot of Americans are furious. Y'all saw this video right here. He is furious. But like I said, it's not just Home Depot. Here's a video from Target right here.
This is your tariffs at work. Cool. It's a simple thing right here. We're covering up the prices. Covering up the prices, and then it's going to ring up different. Actually, someone already did this one. I'll show you on this one. $24.95. Let's go see what it rings up.
Oh my gosh, that's actually really cool.
Let's see what it rings up now. $34.99.
What? Jeez. $10 more. My God.
I'm in Walmart right now. So Walmart came out and said that they're also gonna have to raise prices because of the tariff increase. A year ago it was 10%, now it's 30%. Of course, very recently it was shot up to 145%. The one thing I can't help but think about is how many shelf labels there are in here. Like, this is just the wiper blade aisle. So now, because of this fight that no one asked for, still no one can defend and understand, every retailer out there is going to have to change their price tags. The logic initially was to do American made, but even that is thrown out the window. Yet another way we stick it to the hourly worker, right?